Hello everyone, what's up? Are we having a fun day? I hope so. But welcome back to my channel. Subscribe right now while you're at it if you want to, because that's what everyone says, so I'm saying that too because I am. But anyway, let's get into it. Today's video, not like most of my videos, even though actually I don't even know at this point what my videos are, but this video, we're getting serious. It's really serious. But I like how you can see the reflection of the ring light in the mirror, and you can see the reflection of the laundry hamper too. But today, I'm gonna do one of my favorite things to do ever, and that is to talk and give unsolicited advice that hasn't been asked for. But since you clicked on this video that says something about high school advice, then I mean, I guess it's a little bit solicited or requested, so guess what? You're getting a taste of my best advice. But since I'm gonna be a senior, yeah, that means that I've done 3 years of high school already, and I don't know.
I have some credibility.
I just thought this video would be fun because it's back to school season, and when else am I gonna make this video? So let's get started. Let's talk about academics first, because that's more boring. No offense. I don't know who I would be offending, but just no offense in general. And yeah, I'm gonna read this off my laptop because I can't remember everything that I wrote down. First things first, don't procrastinate. Just kidding. Psych. You can procrastinate however much you want to. You know, I just found that judging when procrastination is good works, because with some projects you obviously can't procrastinate on, like, I don't know, a paper that'll take 3 weeks to write. But then some projects, guess what? You can procrastinate on them. Like, for example, freshman and sophomore year, I did every single one of my English essays the night before it was due, and I did just fine on all of them. I didn't fail any of them. I didn't fail those essays because I basically planned out my procrastination because I knew the pressure of time, I guess, by doing it the night before would keep me motivated, and well, it did. So next academic piece of advice. Don't do any homework in your bedroom. Your bedroom is meant for sleeping. That's why it's called a bedroom. Or if you can only do your homework in your bedroom, then don't do it on your bed because your bed's for sleeping. So then if you start doing your homework on your bed, your body's just gonna be like, oh, bed equals sleep. And then you're gonna fall asleep while doing your homework, and you're gonna get nothing done, and you're gonna not win. And so to avoid that, then set a specific spot in your house for homework and only do homework in that corner, because then when you sit in that spot, your brain will be like,
oh, this is the homework corner. Let's get stuff done.
And also know when to quit, because honestly, quitting can sometimes be good, and I don't mean like quitting when stuff gets hard, but you just gotta know when to quit. For example, I dropped AP Spanish Lang last year because I did not understand a single thing that was going on, and I thought I could do that class porque yo conocía las reglas gramaticales, pero no entendía lo que la gente estaba diciendo. So, therefore, it's better for me to, say goodbye to that class, because I could learn nothing from a class where I didn't understand a single thing that anyone was saying. And it's like, you don't want to give up when something gets hard exactly, but it's time to give up something when it's impossible. Is that good advice? I don't really know. Next thing is, if you're on a block schedule, do the homework the day it's assigned or you'll be sorry. Also, when you're doing reading homework, so like you have a book, you open it, you read 20 pages, that whole thing that you do that at a desk or at a table. Don't do it lying down. That's just a terrible idea, because this has happened for the past 2 years in a row as I've read a book in my bed or like downstairs on the couch. Sorry, Jane Eyre, not sorry. And I fell asleep with the book on my face, and then my mom came in and she was just like, wake up. And I was just like, oh, I fell asleep, whoops. And then, just falling asleep while you're doing assignments is not good. Okay, got interrupted there. What were we talking about? Alright, next thing. Be nice to your teachers, because, first of all, being nice is good, no matter if they're your teacher or just a random person on the street. But even if you don't like the teacher, you should still be nice to them, because guess what, honey? They control your grade. So if they don't like you, F. Just kidding. But you know, like in classes where grading is subjective, like English, you know, some aspects of like history, I guess, you know, stuff where you actually have to write a paper instead of just a math problem where there's a correct, wrong, or right answer. Well, if teachers see your name on a paper, they don't like you, or you're mean to them or whatever, then they're gonna read your paper, read your name, and subconsciously think that like your paper's gonna be bad or something, even though it might not be, but you know, human nature is biased, so that's that. Next tip, which I actually think is really helpful, just the main important thing about, you know, trying to get ahead of the system, that's not the right way to word it, but you know, just to do well, I guess, is to psychologically read your teacher and observe your teacher, determine whether they're more logical or feeling-y, determine whether they have a sense of humor or don't like humor, determine whether they like writing with a bunch of like fluffy words or if they just want the main point or whatever. Then all you do when you're writing your paper is make it so it's what they want to hear. Then you're gonna get an A, or a B, or a C. Next important thing is when you're making an assignment, just add detail. But make sure the detail's relevant, because if it's not relevant, then that's not really gonna help you. For example, if you're doing a history assignment and the question is like, describe an event of World War II, don't just write what the event is and a quick little summary. Describe, I don't know, what caused the event, what the event was, what happened, and then what were the effects of the event. Or if the question's like, describe Newton's third law, then don't just state what the law is, give an example maybe. And then teachers like it. And even though teachers may be like, I don't want more detail, they do want more detail. Another psychological thing, because you know I really think this psychology stuff is interesting, is handwriting and just what's pleasing to the eye. So when a teacher's like grading a project or something and your project is neat, the handwriting's good, it's in colors, if it's a project where you do stuff in colors, the teacher will definitely gravitate more to the aesthetically pleasing poster thing than one that is just bland and boring. And the last academic strategy is the best way to study that I'm convinced of. Basically, this strategy is just using sensory inputs with rewriting your notes. So you know when it's time to study for a test, just rewrite all your notes, but don't just rewrite them like scribbly while watching football. Rewrite it, paying full attention, use colors, use highlighters, use shapes, use drawings, whatever you may need. Then you'll probably have a better chance of remembering all of this, honestly. Like if you're trying to remember x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of 4ac all over 2a, then maybe write the equation in purple. Then when you're on the test and it's like, what's the quadratic formula? Then you'll be like, what did I write in purple? The quadratic formula, and then you'll memorize it. You don't have to use necessarily visual inputs. You can like, if you're trying to memorize the quadratic formula, maybe you eat a piece of chocolate when you're studying the quadratic formula, and then right before the test, you eat the exact same type of chocolate, if that makes sense. Or you use some other sensory thing that's along those same lines. And next, that's not academics, that's literally everything else. Social, mental health, dating, even though there's none of that because I don't feel like talking about relationships right now, and just everything else that happens in high school that doesn't have to do with grades. Pretty much. So, you know, just be friendly with everyone. You don't have to be everyone's best friends. Don't be that person on the first day of school that runs around with their phone and is like, what's your Snapchat? What's your Snapchat? What's your Snapchat? What's your Snapchat? Don't do that, but just keep an open mind, you know? Just kind of do your thing. Also, another friend thing, you're not obligated to be friends with everyone you used to be friends with. You know, sometimes friendships just drift apart because, you know, aging. That happens. And, you know, just as you get older, just interests change. Everything just changes because it's a thing that happens. And there also doesn't need to be drama with the end of any friendships. That applies to high school, and also I think the internet needs to hear that, but that's out there. Next. Play first, work second, or work first, play second. Do what works for you. You kind of just gotta figure that out. There's no like one correct way to do that type of stuff. And finally, the last tip, get an outlet, get a hobby, get a creative outlet, get a musical outlet, get an exercise thing. If school is like the only thing you do, or if you're just doing one thing and you just kind of got that tunnel vision on one thing, girl, That's not the best thing ever. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I'm gonna use this advice from this athlete that came to our school to talk last year. Can't tell you who it is because then you'll probably guess what school I go to, and then that's not good. But anyway, the athlete was like, it's important to have different hobbies, you know, and things you like to do, because if you only have one thing and then that thing is destroyed, then what are you gonna do with your life? Also, having hobbies just helps you avoid burnout in high school and just school in general. That was it for the advice that you probably didn't need to wanna ask. You wanted that, Well, that was it for the advice I had. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed me just talk. We'll see what you say in the comments. Okay, but that's it for the video. Thumbs up, subscribe, do what you want to do, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.